Chris Brown returns to the stage for raunchy show in Nashville hours after pleading guilty to attacking music producer in a Mayfair nightclub. Chris Brown returned to the stage for a raunchy show in Nashville on Saturday, hours after he pleaded guilty to attacking a music producer in a London nightclub. The singer, 37, had been facing trial later this year after he hit a former friend twice over the head on the dancefloor at the Tape Private Members Club in Mayfair in 2023. But a charge of assault occasioning actual bodily harm against victim Abraham Diaw was dropped along with 2 charges of possessing an offensive weapon, a bottle, in a public place, and attempting to cause grievous bodily harm. Brushing off the scandal, Chris was joined by fellow hitmaker Usher for the Racy show, which saw him gyrating against a woman who was handcuffed to a pole.
Flies and gnats invading your kitchen? Plug in the Zevo flying insect trap to attract and catch flying pests with blue and UV light day and night. Want to check today's Amazon deal? Scan the QR code now or visit grabdeal.us/1 before it's gone.
Chris, who has a previous conviction for beating his former girlfriend, fellow pop star Rihanna, was pictured signing autographs for a handful of fans as he left Southwark Crown Court following the short hearing. His vocal coach, Omalalu Akinlulu, 40, also pleaded guilty to a fray. The pair will be sentenced on October 26. Chris Brown returned to the stage for a raunchy show in Nashville on Saturday, hours after he pleaded guilty to attacking a music producer in a London nightclub. The singer had been facing trial later this year after he hit a former friend twice over the head on the dancefloor at the Tape Private Members Club in Mayfair in 2023. Detective Constable Zara Ripamonti from the Metropolitan Police Service said, "This was a disgraceful, unprovoked assault that put a man in hospital. There is no place for serious violence like this in London, and I'm pleased these men accepted what they did wasn't just completely unacceptable, but criminal. This has been a long investigation, and we've worked with police colleagues in the UK to bring these 2 men to justice." Claire Campbell, senior Crown prosecutor for the Crown Prosecution Service in London, said, "This was a vicious and unprovoked attack by Brown and Akinlulu in a crowded nightclub, where Brown used a glass bottle as a weapon to strike the victim's head twice. This kind of violence is entirely unacceptable, and the Crown Prosecution Service will work tirelessly with the police and partners across the criminal justice system to pursue cases like this and prove that no one is above the law." During a brief hearing, prosecutor Heidi Stonecliffe Casey applied for an extra charge of affray to be added to the indictment, saying this had been accepted by all parties. A court clerk then read out the charge to the singer and his vocal coach, which alleged Chris Brown and Omalalu Akinlulu on February 19, 2023, used or threatened unlawful violence towards another, and their conduct taken together was such as would cause a person of reasonable firmness present at the scene to fear for his personal safety. Brown, who took deep breaths before the delayed hearing began, then entered a guilty plea alongside Akinlulu. A charge of assault occasioning actual bodily harm was dropped, and 2 charges of possessing an offensive weapon in a public place and attempting to cause GBH. Chris' vocal coach, Omalalu Akinlulu, 40, also pleaded guilty to a fray. The pair will be sentenced on October 26. The judge set bail conditions that allow Brown to leave the UK, but he must return on October 25, the day before his sentencing. At earlier hearings, Brown was ordered to pay a £5 million security fee as part of his bail conditions. Judge Tony Baumgartner bylaid Brown and Akinlulu to be sentenced on October 26 at Southwark Crown Court. Members of Brown's entourage sat on the front row of the public gallery as the verdicts were entered. The singer, wearing a tan suit, gold-rimmed sunglasses, and a St. Louis Cardinals baseball hat, was flanked by security guards as he arrived at court, where a small group of fans had gathered. Fans played the artist's music and shouted his name, with one saying, "I love you, Chris," as others held signs. At earlier hearings, Brown was ordered to pay a £5 million security fee as part of his bail conditions, which also allowed him to go on a world tour as long as he surrendered his passport on arrival in each country. In 2009, Brown admitted at Los Angeles Superior Court to 1 count of felony assault, relating to an incident that occurred hours before he and Rihanna were due to perform at the Grammy Awards.